Commercial real estate is about to crash, and I know what you're thinking.
Orlando, why should I care?
Well, this is the reason you should care. First of all, it will affect housing. Second of all, it will affect employment.
I'm out of here.
And third of all, it will cause banking failures, guys.
Americans can rest assured that our banking system is safe. Your deposits are safe.
Sensational.
This is something that you really need to look at, guys, and really need to pay attention to. So let's jump into it. My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. Also, in the description, I have a real estate for investing for beginners and a YouTube course. It is in the description, guys, but let's jump right into it, guys. This is some really important news, guys, because a lot of you guys don't understand how bad, I mean, it's really bad, guys, with commercial real estate. It is going to be a bloodbath, guys. A bloodbath when it comes to this. Guys, listen, this is the problem that is going on with commercial real estate. The values are insane.
Are you crazy?
What we call cap rates, which is basically the value of real estate versus lending conditions, aka interest rates, guys. These owners are crazy. These guys are trying to sell properties at 2 years ago value with these interest rates, and the cash flow isn't happening.
I think we might have a hustler here.
The value isn't there, guys. That is the most easiest way I can put it. These owners are living in la-la land, and these realtors are working along with them.
Yes, excellent.
Which is causing properties to sit on the market forever and eventually will sell lower. But that's not the only issue here. Let's jump into it. It says commercial property owners face a perfect storm from higher interest rates and lower values. The loans are coming due. And see, that is the thing. A lot of owners are saying,
I'm not gonna sell to you either. Watcher, viewer, I'm not going to sell to you either. I'm just gonna go on and hold my great commercial property that I bought.
But here's the issue. The values are lower and the interest rate is higher. So now when you get a refinance, you're gonna have to bring money into the deal and pay more money out. And in most cases, the property won't cash flow. Dun dun dun. The plot thickens. And a lot of these owners are realizing this. I don't know why. You would think that they would have an Excel spreadsheet that would kind of let them know, like,
hey man, you may want to sell now.
But the problem is we have a lot of real estate agents that are saying,
hey owners, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We can find someone who will buy it for, you know, this high value. Don't worry about it.
And then they get to the last hour, they go, yeah, it's been on the market for 9 months and we haven't had a call. So yeah, we may have to drop this value. Let's drop this price. It's not working out. I know what you're thinking to yourself.
Orlando, what caused this problem?
Well, let's take a look at it. It says about 1.5 trillion worth of real estate loans are due to mature over the next 2 years. And that is a steep increase. Now, guys, this is what I'm talking about when I say owner can hold on to the loan and say, you know, I'm not gonna sell to you and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, their own demise is coming in 2 years for 50% of commercial properties.
Whoa.
That's right, you heard it. 50% of properties in the next 24 months will reset to this ridiculously high interest rate at lower values. So you know what that means. It's gonna be some deals coming.
That'd be sweet.
But it's going to be at the expense of individuals who bought at the height of the market. Remember when Blackstone came in here, guys, and said,
yeah, we're gonna be buying all this real estate, and yeah, we're paying really high prices for them, but we know what? We can just sell it to you later.
Well, that's not happening anymore. They're realizing,
I made a mistake. My calculations were wrong. My math was not mathing.
And I did not realize we were coming up on this huge recession and values were dropping. You know, nobody wants office buildings anymore and, you know, all this this other stuff. I didn't realize any of this was gonna happen. You know, if they would watch my videos, you know, yeah, I know. Then they would have known, oh yes, this is coming down the line here. But the point is they did not realize that this much hardship was going to be coming on the economy. They were betting that we were going to have a soft landing. They were betting that we were never going to touch a recession ever, and values were going to continue going up, up, and up. 30, 40%, no problem, right?
I don't want to leave this place. It's so fluffy.
Sounds crazy. Hindsight, right? The combination of tightening of lending conditions and loans refinanced at higher unsustainable rates could potentially stifle construction, development in major cities, and struggling to bounce back from the pandemic. Now, guys, this is the reason why this information is so important, because if you read this, it says the lending conditions can stifle construction. What does that mean? That's jobs, guys. That's jobs. That means jobs for you, jobs for your community. They're gone. Those jobs are poof, gone. That is because they can no longer develop. There will be so much property, commercial property on the market. Why do you need to develop? There's a bunch of empty office buildings, a bunch of empty retail centers. Why would you build more retail centers when down the street there's a full complex that's empty? It just shows you that the demand isn't there. And so there's no need to build more. But here's another thing. If there's no construction or no development, what does that say? Construction jobs are gone, right?
Yeah, you're getting fired for that.
That's one side of it gone. If a bunch of retail centers are vacant, that shows there's no jobs in there. So that's another amount of layoffs. If there's high unemployment, no development going on in your city, that will bring values down on homes. Because where do people want to live? People want to live where there's a bustling economy, where there's a lot of things to do, a lot of restaurants. And if restaurants dissipate, if businesses dissipate, if there's a lot more people in the area that aren't spending money in the area, values will start to come down on homes. And this is something that a lot of people may not be looking at, but the commercial real estate sector will be a big part of values going down and unemployment going up, guys. So this is something that I don't hear many people talking about. But then it says here, the perfect storm brewing from high interest rates, lower real estate values, and illiquid market will burden consumer businesses, stalling affordable housing expansion, and further imperil of health of our major metropolitan areas. That's what I was just talking about. It really does affect your whole ecosystem in your area. If a bunch of vacant units, a bunch of construction isn't happening, if your area isn't growing, guys, it's dying. And if it's dying, values go down. That is the easiest way to put it. But here is another factor that I want you to understand. Who is holding all of the loans when it comes to commercial real estate?
Big bank, tight, little bank. Big bank, tight, little bank.
Well, it's a lot of the regional banks that we're seeing in the news that are failing right now. Let me just name off a few. We got First Republic, we've got Citizens Financial, First Horizon, PacWest, and then Western Alliance. All of these guys that we've been seeing in the news, guys, these guys hold a bunch of commercial real estate, regional banks. And if these banks fail, guys, what happens to your deposits? What happens to other businesses that held money in those businesses? Do they go up? Do people lose jobs because they have no payroll? The individuals who worked at these banks, do they lose jobs? Yes, 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 and yes.
It's the end of the world.
Can you see how that truly will affect the economy? Yes, some of them may get bought out by JP Morgan. Some of them may get bought out by the top four, but not all of them. A lot of these banks are just going to fail. Point blank. So what are these commercial banks going to do, especially with owners who refuse to sell at a value that works for financing of today? They're gonna try to work out a deal with the bank. That is the thing. They're going to try to work out and do workout loans, but I don't know if the banks are willing to take that hit, especially when they're getting clobbered already. So this is one of the biggest issues. And here's the thing, guys. Let me just try to explain to you why this is such a big deal. For someone who owns office buildings or retail strips or anything like that, it says here, consider that the bulk of commercial real estate loans were financed when base rates were near zero, far below today's rates, closer to 5%. Not only are rates higher, but the real estate values are much lower. You hear that? much lower. How can you refinance something when you're already underwater? Sounds like 2008, right? Yeah, because it is. A lot of these commercial real estate owners, if they were smart, they would be working on this today. I can almost promise you they're working with a real estate agent, and those real estate agents are trying to hustle someone like me or you to purchase commercial real estate that is super high priced.
I love the hustle, man.
Just like a real estate agent right now is probably trying to hustle for the seller for you to purchase an overpriced home.
It's an evil world we live in.
And here's the thing, guys. Do not overpay. It applies all over. Do not overpay. It doesn't matter if it's residential. It doesn't matter if it's commercial. Do not overpay, guys. The math ain't mathing, guys. It doesn't make sense. Think about it. Why would you pay overvalued on a property that doesn't even cash flow?
Stop acting so stupid!
I had someone to come to me today and they said, Orlando, I want to buy a retail office strip. And I'm thinking to myself, are you sure? You must be getting a fantastic deal. No, he wasn't getting a fantastic deal. He wasn't getting a fantastic deal. It was the seller who was getting a fantastic deal. The property was 50% vacant and he's selling it for $2 million over what he purchased it for 3 years ago. It almost brings a tear to my eyes. It doesn't make sense. And you're dropping 60% down payment. And the buyer believes,
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. In the next year, office is going to be back on top.
what universe is this guy living in?
That doesn't make sense.
What universe? Because we need to zap to that universe where everything is going to go right back to the way it was 2 years ago, and interest rates are low and values are high. Everything's affordable. That is the universe he's living in. And he's putting down all of that money. Only, and this is just my opinion, he's going to lose every bit of that in a year or two. But it's not my decision. It's not my decision to make people purchase, don't purchase, tell them not to purchase. This is just my opinion, guys.
Whatever you want to do.
95% of US offices were occupied. Today, that number is closer to 47%. Now, guys, I told you this story before I even read this. And even this article that I'm reading is saying office is at 47%. What did I just tell you that this guy was purchasing? The vacancy of the office was 50%. It's close. The drop wiped out $453 billion of commercial real estate values. And then I want to add this last piece in. What happens when you have a bunch of vacant buildings, a bunch of owners losing money, you have bank failures because of commercial real estate, and you have a city who gets all of its money from property taxes? I just want you to think about that. If majority of all cities get 70% of all of their taxes from properties like commercial real estate, and there's a bunch of vacancies and a bunch of owners can't pay those taxes, then what happens to school systems? What happens to budgets? What happens to all the things that make a healthy city, an economy for a city? What happens? All of those things start to go down. All those things like housing prices will go down. Property taxes will go up. Why will they go up, Orlando? Because they cannot collect from commercial real estate. So they're going to have to make the money up somewhere, and they're going to make that money up from you on property taxes. I want you guys to understand how this whole system works in a cycle. It's just not about residential that is in the fire right now. It is commercial real estate that is almost certain to see a reckoning happening that will affect your city, that will affect unemployment, that will affect values of homes in your area. Bank failures are going to happen with this, you guys. And I want you guys to read in between the lines here and understand how important this information is. Because if you're in the market for commercial real estate, it's coming. The next 2 years, unbelievable deals. Unbelievable deals will be had here. But if you don't believe me that commercial real estate is going in a direction that a lot of real estate agents aren't happy about. Let's take a look at this. 5 out of 6 of the largest commercial real estate brokerage posted losses in Q1. Trust me, we all know real estate agents want to sell property at the highest value that they possibly can. So they're not doing losses on purpose. And here we see 5 out of 6 commercial real estate brokerages have posted losses in Q1. And it's going to continue to get worse, guys. But once again, guys, you won't get all of your value from this one video. Make sure you watch this next video here. I promise you, you will get tons and tons of value, housing market, financial news, get into your first real estate property. The information will be gold, guys. Make sure you check it out. See you in the next one. Thanks.